in to whoop some of these teams. We shall see how that's gonna work out, as we do have the flight path that's gonna be drawn out from 3 o'clock all the way until 9 o'clock, and all of these teams will be able to go through and of course get in pretty darn close to Carrington, Mill, Peak, Kotatua, Bimasati Strip, and literally everywhere else. But one thing that I am surprised is that a lot of these teams have held out from their parachute and only decided to jump out when they are closer to the western side of the map.
We talked about Divinity, and right off the bat, you can see Divinity are pretty close to Baby Argon. And thankfully, Divinity, they're running in the opposite direction of Baby Argon, so they're not gonna have this early conflict. Baby Argon, they're gonna head towards the Kotatua, so conflict avoided. But Do Easy though, not the same story. They have AB Ligers to deal with on the opposite side of this building.
It does seem like Man 04 is going to have some issues and a little bit of a problem here or there. But I believe that they should be able to get themselves out of that sticky situation pretty darn easily, as long as they draw out the game a little bit longer. Because Man 04, he is pretty much A-okay. And AV Red Panda, which is going to be the only problem for Man 04, if Red Panda does have a sniper or any DMRs, that will be a problem for Man 04. But looking at it, it does seem like it should be A-okay, especially since it's pretty far away.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that as long as you can hold those vantage points with the sniper rifle, it will always give you that bit of advantage to work with. However, there are also situations where you would rather not be far away from the rest of the team. It depends on the terrain as well. I think we saw the example, I believe, in round 3 or round 3, where two teams were up against each other, but because of how the terrain is, the effectiveness of a sniper rifle does vary depending on where you are stationed. And in this situation, I think it's still okay for them to keep that flank watch on that vantage point. When you are fighting in these kind of compounds, right, with multiple buildings, there's multiple floors and the roof, always have someone on the roof to take that first shot. And Bayet's going to be tagged a bit, and that's going to signal a bit of aggression from the side of AB Ligers. And we know AB Ligers are an aggressive team, so perhaps they want to use that aggression to their advantage. But Do Easy, they're no pushover though. One of the weaknesses of Do Easy is that they are prone to be over-aggressive and they make reckless decisions, like what we saw from the last round, where they tried to take on Freedom Rumble when they had the man advantage and failed horribly. So perhaps if AB Liger can exploit that weakness, they might be able to win out against Do Easy.
And of course, Do Easy, they are right now, it does seem like they are rather aggressive and they are interested in going all out. And speaking of going all out, it does seem like Watch and Learn, they are going to go all out. With Venom taking the Atomic Gun, and it does seem like he is able to get quite some lead onto the enemies, and they are going to go for more. At this point of time, they want to source out where is the rest of the members coming in from Legends Rumble, and Watch and Learn, they are not gonna they're not gonna allow Legends Rumble get away with it. You can see how far Legends Rumble is running. They know that their opponents is literally right at their 6, and they can't stop running.
Do Easy also finds themselves kind of pinched by AV Ligers as Bayet is already down, and AV Ligers, they're swarming that lone injured member. So Do Easy, they're not going to be able to get Bayet back up. That is a good start for AV Ligers, and we kind of expected this, from time to time, that AV Ligers, if they move in a unit, they generally have a better chance against Do Easy. Bayet was actually able to be recovered, so that is good news for Do Easy. And now because of how close AV Ligers are, Do Easy, their window of evacuating from the area has expired. They might have to just take this fight. Because AV Ligers, they're just gonna try and hunt for them, and knowing how this team plays, Bayet stuck on the roof alone without any backup. It's gonna be pretty dangerous, but AV Liger seems like they would spare Do Easy for now, as they are the ones who decided to move out of that area.
Moving out of the area very likely is going to be one of the best thing that they can do at this moment of time. They do not want to overcompensate for themselves, and of course, they do not want to throw caution to the wind just about yet. It's just way too easy for them to do all of that. But for now, let us take a look at the current circle, and it does seem like the circle is relatively punishing. Take a look at how southern this circle is. This zone is only playable up to 70%. Close to 70%, right? Or around 70%. We are looking at about one quarter. One quarter that is sorry, 3 quarters that is playable. And that means that we are going to be looking at quite a lot of people that is going to be pretty choked up when it comes to Bimasaki Strip, Clock Tower, and perhaps even Factory. But understanding how the terrain is and how the next circle might be, the best place to be at is still going to be somewhere at Bimasaki Strip, even though it is at the edge of the current circle.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually like circles like this. You know, some people might say that I'm evil in nature, I'm chaotic evil. I like it when the circle has a lot of water, but I generally just like chaos. I think that this really tests the teams. Obviously, I'm not saying that we should have all 6 rounds have circles that cover 50% of the map, 50% water. But every once in a while, you kind of want to see what these teams can do. And this is the second time today, I believe, that we have a circle that is a bit more punishing compared to the normal ones that we get. So VPH Velocity and Fastq NY, they were the ones who were already there in the safe zone by default, so they shouldn't have to move too much. And I believe for VPH Velocity, they can actually hug the coastline and see how the circle, advances. Will it still stick towards the southern side, or will it move a bit upwards away from the body of the water to plan out their next move? But since I bloody hit, they're just gonna drive straight in and straight into the territory of the Fastq. And why, CJ? That is not where you want to be. The vehicle is gonna completely be set on fire, and bloody hit. They ran straight into a trap, and ZJ will be the first victim. He's gonna be down. The rest of bloody hit, they really want to help out, but they were not ready. They did not expect Fastq NY to be in that area, and now they're all trapped, and they're forced to fight. This is gonna be the Hail Mary attack, but it is a surprise coming out from Pogs, down Snoop. But still, Fastq NY were able to secure the kill and bring their buddy back out. So bloody hit, they didn't check the area properly, and they are now suffering from casualties.
And just like that, first game on with only 1 kill to their name, and it does seem like they are interested in finding more kills, but do note, we are looking at Bloody Head's Mark, and although we haven't really quite been seeing a lot from Mark yet, but I was just about to talk about them on good light, but the Vector Akimbo from Fastkill MY is just a little bit too tough for them to handle, and especially since the opponent is running right at you from the back, like literally a knife. Like, you're just holding a knife, just rushing on your opponents. Who wouldn't be scared of that? And in the end, that is it. Bloody Heads is down again.
Yeah, that is it. Can't really fault them though. That was slightly unfortunate. They didn't expect Fastq NY to be there, and for Fastq NY, that was just lucky. They were already in a circle, and Bloody Head deciding to make that early rotation straight into the center. This is kind of the risk that you would run. You will potentially be caught up by teams who have already occupied the safe zone, which is why sometimes rotating late and rotating outside the circumference of the circle is more beneficial compared to just trying to go for the center. Bloody hit. They took the risk and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, it didn't really quite pay off. I hope that more of these teams will kind of balance out and I kind of understand the cost benefit part of thing again. But one thing that I really want to see and I really am hoping to see is going to be what's going to happen in the next circle, because circle number 1 is just comprises so much of the water, so much of the ocean. I just want to know if whether the next few circles is going to be comprising of the oceans as well, because like you said, I mean, yes, it's going to make things a lot more interesting, and I dare say that it is going to make the game a lot faster as well and a lot more chaotic.
Exactly. So Baby Argon, one of the teams that is in a prime position to end this week, in top 3. They are in a relatively safe place. You can say the same for Divinity, because earlier on, they were supposed to, I believe, run into, was it Do Easy? But both teams kind of backed away from each other, so no conflict right there. AV Ligers managing to make their way into this factory area. We're looking at VPH velocity. They were already by the coastline, where the circle forms, so they should just hug that particular compound, that particular area. Awesome though, they're gonna see this rotation coming out from Freedom Rumble, and the part shot has been fired by Z-Max, but no downs just yet. Freedom Rumble able to make it across to safety.
And at this point of time, the circle is more centered onto factory. And look at this, the amount of traffic that is just in the central of the map. We have Divinity, we do have Secret Squad, we also have Steady Squad, we also have AV Ligers. My oh my, will we look at quite a big thing happening real soon, and I am very, very stoked about it. Steady Squad is at the ground level, while Divinity is all the way at the top floors of factory. And it does seem like none of them is deciding to shoot at one another just about yet. But SS Lemon, he went in for the flare. They are gonna be calling out for the drop crate real soon, and that is definitely gonna bring up a lot of attention right onto factory.
Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty tense stand-up as well, with so many teams in this area. You're gonna expect a lot of third partying, and sometimes it's pretty tough as well when you're caught in the center, because there's only so much you can do as a team. So Fasco and Y, they are kind of outside at the perimeter. Steady Squad slowly inching their way in, as Divinity still holding on to the factory. As long as the safe zone has this area in it, I don't think Divinity is going to move away too far. And in fact, this is probably the most comfortable spot a team can be in while playing on Bermuda. However, with AV Ligers right outside, teams that want to get close to factory might find it a bit tough, because AV Ligers have 2 separate areas occupied or guarded with a 2-2 split. On the other end, Steady Squad, they're just gonna hold up in the cargo area outside of the factory.
And just being around the factory area, I think that is going to give them, in fact, it's not gonna give them like a great chance of survival, because everyone knows how heavily contested that area is gonna be, and thus being in factory is probably gonna be one of the worst places to be. And in fact, where Watch and Learn is may be one of the greatest place to be, and also where Do Easy's places. As long as you are not in factory, I think that it is pretty a-okay, and you don't expose yourself to factory, because once you expose yourself to factory and you try to shoot anyone at the top of factory, everyone else within factory will be able to see you, and you are dead meat. So this circle does seem like it is going to be a very passive circle for people who are not within the vicinity.
Yeah, and for Divinity, when you hear these gunshots, you will have information of where the other teams are. But the best course of action, I think, is just to not respond. Just hide in the factory for as long as possible. Wait for everyone else to take, or wait for everyone else to kill each other. Then you come in for the to pick up the scrap. So Baby Argon, they were able to make it across the open field without suffering any casualties. That is good news. Steady Squad though still holding this area outside. But the good news for Steady Squad is that no other teams are nearby, so they don't have to worry about any sort of backstab. Baby Argon has already made it across, and in fact, Baby Argon, they run into Awesome, and Awesome now are the ones who wants to make it into the circle, but because of Baby Argon's earlier repositioning, they were able to gatekeep Awesome, and now Awesome, they're in a very bad spot, and in fact, they will be the second team to be knocked out.
Double kill.
Not the best case scenario you're looking at. And Awesome being knocked out at number 11. Oof, it is going to be quite a pain. But for now, let us take a look also as Freedom Rumble that got eliminated at number 10. And this is a point of time where we should be expecting a lot of teams to be dropping and of course to be eliminated pretty darn fast. Everyone is going to have a decent shot for themselves while being shot at themselves, because everyone else is just all around the place. With Batman being immediately knocked down by one of the opponents, and there's no way that he can come back up unless someone else comes in to help him. And it is going to be tight. It is going to be tough. And whoever gets knocked down from this point onwards, they shouldn't be expecting themselves to be picked up by their friends anymore, because one moment of neglect is going to be another person's misery. Take a look at this then.
Yeah.
Axel, he jumps right onto this, runs right onto this place and tries to open fire onto Batman and friends. And Divinity, they're definitely gonna have the back against the wall, but Axel can't overcompensate for himself right here. The longer that he stays here, it's gonna be a lot tougher. But it does seem like his friends are back here, and there is going to be quite a lot of backups coming from the side of Steady Squad, and everywhere else right around Factory is just going to be having quite a lot of Maniac as well as some Chaos. Divinity is going to be knocked out and eliminated at number 8. We do have Watch and Learn coming from Demons, just going to be dealing quite a lot of damage, and so will Pascal and Moy. Velocity is just going to be knocked down, and so will Baby Argus currently being knocked down at number 6. And how about the next one? With 5 teams remaining, 17 members alive. Now, all of the players have ran out of Factory and going to be playing at the ground levels. The only thing that's going to be separating all of the teams from one another is going to be crates after crates after crates, and not to forget stones and glue walls.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Steady Squad, what a push. They compromised Divinity's position, they took them out, and maybe Argus tried to flank Steady Squad, but it didn't work out, so good news for them. AQ so far, Demon from Watch and Learn, now trying to push in to the factory compound. They do see Steady Squad as you see Clanks with the frag grenade is able to take down Man 04, Fast MY on the other side as well. They will also try to take on a Steady Squad, but that glue was going to make things a bit more complicated as Steady Squad tries to pick themselves back up. They should be able to do so though, as Demon continues to pump in the bullets from the other side. Watch and Learn, they have the outskirts of the circle, and if you see where the circle is, whoever wants to walk into the circle is gonna have to face Watch and Learn because it is an open field. Red Panda dows them with the frag grenade, and at Fast MY, they have to move out, and that is gonna put them in range and a crosshair of all the other teams. Steady Squad knocked out in 5th, Fast MY knocked out in 4th, Watch and Learn with all 4 men left alive and the perfect place. They should be able to take this away. Now they're gonna knock out Do Easy, and suddenly it's gonna be between Watch and Learn and AB Ligers. 3 versus 4. AB Ligers, this is pretty much doable. They just need to hold their ground a bit more. Red Panda catches the back from Venom, and it's gonna make things even more harder for AB Ligers. This is looking pretty dire though. Watch and Learn, they know that they got this in the bag. They're just gonna rush in. The glue wall is now going to form a fortress to protect Shogun for now, but how long can he stay alive? With everyone from Watch and Learn beside him, he's gonna be knocked down, and that is not gonna be it for Watch and Learn. They down AV Ligers. They take the booyah.
That is definitely not the kind of fight